Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. But please go tell somebody to go tell somebody first before you go ask them. Go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love Urban. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I am the one and only. I'm your homie HerbMan. All right, we're coming live from South Africa, live on TikTok and live on YouTube. So please do your due diligence to make sure that you get informed every time the HerbMan Show come on. Why? Because we teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you guys here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So this is a free information station, you guys. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear or see today. Okay. You don't have to pay for anything. All you simply got to do to pay for anything here is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by simply double tapping that screen to make sure that we get this out to as many people as possible. And we're trying to beat the frequency, right? We're trying to chase the algorithm so that we can make sure that this gets into an advanced state, that this movement that we're partaking in gets into an advanced state. See, the thing is that they're betting on you not being awakened. They're betting on you being misinformed continuously. They're betting on you just going by the status quo. They are betting that you won't wake up out of this dream. They are betting that you can't get out of the matrix. They are betting that you can't escape the maze. They are betting on you to stay docile. And we got to be able to use these free marketing platforms to market truth, not value. We're not looking for value. There's value in truth, but we don't need to be trying to market for value. We market for truth. Share this truth. Okay. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. And since we're already there, then we're going to go ahead and teach you guys everything that we know. Okay. Now, for the last week or so, we've been taking you through what we call HerbMan School. All right. So for all of you guys who are looking to try to see exactly what we're talking about, what we're doing, what we stand for, go back to YouTube and really look at those videos and make sense of what we're teaching the community of humanity today. All right. So what we're simply trying to get you to understand is that there is a way to where when you grow an idea, it's the same terminology. It's the same thing to grow your finances. To grow a baby is the same thing as to grow your finances. Okay. You have to take care and you have to do meticulous things in order to care for a plant, in order to care for a pet, in order to care for a baby. There are meticulous things. There's 24/7 coverage over this thing. You can't leave a plant in its first few years, it'll die. You can't leave a pet in its first few years, it'll die. You can't leave a baby in its first few years. So you see that there's a meticulous attention to detail, especially early on in the development of any idea, any baby, any pet, anything that you're trying to do. And it's in this meticulousness that you need to understand that you should care for your idea, care for your finances, care for your, even if you poor right now, you got the idea of being rich, care for it. And every seed that you put in the ground is covered in the darkness for the first few days. So that means be quiet. Okay? Be quiet until it grows. Be quiet until everybody can see it without you having to say nothing. See, when a plant grows above the dirt, everybody can see it without you having to say nothing. But when it's underground, when it's stirring, when it's inside, when you're manifesting, when you're creating and cultivating the idea, be quiet. Keep it in the dark, okay? So in this essence, what we've been saying to you is that the mind's power is a very, very, very big thing, okay? The mind's power is a very, very big thing. And you can use this power to heal yourself, okay? You can use this power to heal yourself, all right? And since we've been going through that HerbMan School, I felt obligated today to be able to say, you know what? They've learned a lot of stuff. I teach a lot of things in a lot of different ways. And I want to make sure you guys understand. So today we're going to call it question and answer day, right? So if you guys got questions about diseases, about nature-based interventions, about counseling, about mental health, about depression, about anxiety, about cancers, about anything that you got going on in life. Let's just call this a day that we talk about life. Even if you got relationship issues, if you got parenthood issues, if you got parenting issues, if you got financial issues, if you got business issues, if you got entrepreneurial issues, if you got spiritual issues, it don't matter what it is. Today is question and answer day, right? And we're going to try to get you an answer to the questions that you're seeking. If you're looking for love, we're going to try to find you love today. If you're looking for a job, we're going to try to find you a job today. If you're looking for healing, we're going to try to find you healing today. If you, whatever questions that you got, we hopefully want to be able to answer your question. And it's not just me. I'm involving social media. I'm involving the world. See, you don't know. See, that's what we need to use these things for. See, it's somebody out here that can help you better than I can. But you don't bump into them people, and you never will, because you don't open up your perspective about the opportunities that life brings. So again, back to the lesson, and we'll get to what we're talking about, but back to the lesson of what we've been teaching is your world is different from the earth's pattern. And the earth's pattern for your life, you've never questioned. You've never been able to understand or even articulate or even formulate that type of question in your mind, is what is earth's patterns for my life? And earth patterns for your life is a very, I'm going to say a very detached system, okay? It ain't got no attachments to you when it's involving this cyclical nature. It's going to be doing it whether you like it or not, right? In this cycle, you may not like the way mama roasts her fruit and cook her vegetables because you call it raw. You call all the mama cooked foods raw foods. Okay, so you don't like how mama is fixing food. And so you go and you do your own thing. That's your full right and will. But my point to you is that when you look at Earth's patterns for your life, you'll see that your world is different from Earth's pattern in your life. So therefore, we've been socially engineered and genetically modified to learn and obey, to be part of the capitalistic system of the world. If you communist, you still capitalism. If you dictator, you still capitalism. If you fascism, you still capitalism. If you socialism, you still capitalism. And so it don't really matter, because everybody working for money. I've been to enough countries to see everybody need money to live. No matter who the president is, no matter what the folk come from, what language they speaking, everybody needs some money to live. So then we realize that then you come in to learn to obey capitalism. And this is a robotic type of thing that automatically will cash out or automatically will register in you certain dreams and aspects. So you'll see that in this learn, obey capitalism, then you'll see a lot of children wanting to be rappers. You'll see a lot of children wanting to be football players. You'll see a lot of children wanting to be on the video. You'll see a lot of children want to be on TV. You'll see a lot of children want to be on social media. Why? Because they're just trying to learn to obey capitalism. If money is the objective, then we don't care nothing about McDonald's no more. Don't give a damn about cleaning no floor. We ain't give a damn about cutting no grass. See, you just not finding out. But see, now children, they figuring out that is what they want, and them little baby steps toward it. Ain't nobody finna cut no grass for no capitalism. So then you're losing the methodology and the process to get to where you want to be. So now you want to jump from just straight plain Jane to rich, without understanding the processes that it takes to get in the middle. So then there's no time, there's no effort. And really, this is the unrealistic piece of the American pie, an unrealistic piece of the global pie that they think that you're trying to get. So what we're trying to get you to understand is that you're coming into the dynamic to learn, obey, to get to the money. But the earth is saying, hey, look, where there's limitations up here, there is abundance down here. You won't run out of no food messing with me, but you'll run out of it messing with money. I'm just trying to teach y'all, man. So please keep tapping the screen, you guys. I'll keep talking. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. We'll get the questions and answers in just a few minutes. I just want to give you an overview of what we've been trying to teach you psychologically about diseases and about your actual position in the planet. Now, what we can show you is where your mind has left your body. What we can show you is what you're dealing with and the divorce or the disagreement between the body and the mind. We can show you how to get back in tune with your mind. We can show you how to get back in tune with nature. See, you have to understand that real healing comes when you can align your world up to Earth's patterns for your life. You got to be able to align your will up to the will of God in your life. So this is what we're trying to get you to understand. Now, they call this a kairos, and all of this. They call it divine timing, divine intervention. But all it is just trying to align your mind and catch up with your body. Some of y'all mind is in a intellectual place while your body is in a spiritual place. Some of y'all minds is in a spiritual place while your body is in an intellectual spot. So you got to be able to match it up. Some of you guys are thinking about money, but your body is about career. Some of you are thinking about your family, but your body is about marriage. Some of you guys are thinking, and so you got to be able to line yourself back up with where you at really in nature, and the owner's manual will do that for you, you guys. All right. So that's why I keep speaking owner's manual, because it is in this way that we're going to be able to get nature's remedies for our issues, okay? And so when we're looking at disease, when we're looking at depression and anxiety, when we're looking at the tall tale toll that capitalism puts on the minds and the journey of the life experience for all humans across the globe, then you must understand that this is where we must meet the hammer to the head. This is the due enemy. It is the systems that we created for ourselves, but not necessarily nature systems. Nature systems that makes you have to be patient. Nature systems makes you have to wait a little bit. Make sure you got to be informed. You got to return things. You got to give back. It's reciprocity. You got to be in good regards and good respect with everything. See, that's nature laws, but your shit is just about you. And your world is different from the Earth's pattern for your life. And we're encouraging you guys to spend that little funky measly $50 that you're crying about on something like this, whether you are a Christian, a pastor, a bishop, whether you are a doctor, an Indian or African, whether you are a restaurant owner, Asian or a Spanish. It doesn't matter none of those titles. You need this. Whether you know how to speak English or not, you need it. Whether you rich or poor, you need it. Whether you white or black, you need it. You need this. It's your way back home. Everybody's been talking about returning home, coming home, the second coming. Well, what is the second coming? Okay, you started here first. You were a sexual thought to your parent first, and then out of those sexual thoughts to your parents and actions came out of that, then they conceived the baby from here. So from the womb of the mind came the womb of the baby, from the womb, from the body. So you came from here out down to the south portal. Then how do you go back home? You go back home through the mind. Rebirth is through the mind. We can't put you back in the womb of the body, but we can renew and transform the way that you think about this particular paradigm. And the way that you think about this particular paradigm will allow you to circumvent any kind of diseases or disorders that you may face, okay? So I want you guys to get this consciousness, because it ain't about the amount of information. Consciousness has never been about how much you know about anything. It's not the amount and how deep and how articulate and how eloquent you sound. That doesn't mean consciousness. Consciousness simply means, can you stay in this divine timing? Can you stay in this divine intervention? Can you stay in this oneness and this alignment all the time? The more often you can keep aligned your world with Earth life patterns for your life, or Earth's patterns for your life, then guess what? You're riding the waves. You're staying in the boat, and you're not getting too upheaval when the water is calm, and you ain't getting too upheaval when the water is storming, because you know that all of these things will pass. Now, this is what I want to show you real quick before we get into questions and answers, okay? Your world is different from the earth. I want to put this out here real quick, okay? This story started a long time ago, and I've been teaching this, and I'm glad YouTube is working today. So if you miss it, you can be able to go there. This story started a long time ago, okay? It was about space, right? And it was said that chaos created everything, all right? Chaos created darkness and emptiness and all this type of stuff. But chaos wasn't what you think chaos was. Chaos was, to me, it was chance, okay? Chaos to me was chance. And what happened is chance created change, okay? All right? Chance created change, right? Now, when change came in, change was what you would call planet Uranus, okay? Change was what you would call planet Uranus, right? And then you had Gaia, Earth. And Uranus stands for change. Change met fertility and began to have life-changing abilities, which created life organisms and forms, okay? Because when you add change to fertility, life, Gaia was a life. It was a womb planet. It was full of life, but it needed that ability to be able to change. Living organisms had to be able to change from one thing to another. It had to be able to perform catabolic and anabolic actions. These are change. It had to be able to do the splitting of atoms, change, Adam and Eve. It had to be able, so Uranus got with fertile ground and then put change into fertility. So now when you got reproduction, now you have a change in things. So now one thing can reproduce another thing that's different from itself. But it required two things. So now on this planet, you'll see that before you got to walk, you require 2 feet. Before you got to work, you require 2 arms. For you to see, you require 2 eyes. For you to hear, you require 2 ears. And for you to be here, you require another species, that woman. A man requires a woman in order for it to be here in its fullness. A woman requires a man in order for her to be here in her fullness. That don't mean you can't get no money by yourself. Anybody can do that. But I'm talking about in your fullness. If I had one leg, you'll call me handicapped, right? So you got to understand. So when we're looking at these particular things that you're seeing, you must be able to grasp the fortitude of working both things together. So therefore, the positive and the negative energies that are here in this particular paradigm, you don't know the recipe to. So that's why when you get sick, you can't get well. But you know how to fix the car. When the car can't crank up, you know to change the battery. When the toy don't work, you know to change the battery. When the remote don't work, you know to change the battery. But when you get sick, you don't, for some reason, understand how to charge your battery. And it's in understanding duality. Yes, we have to work with duality, but the recipe for it is polarity. So these positive and negative things that are going on, these things that are in your environmental stimuli is okay to a respect, but you shouldn't be up under chronic stress. How do you get into a relaxed and a content and a peace state of being in this paradigm is that you got to be able to align your world up with Earth's patterns for your life. Otherwise, there are always going to be egregious things. There's always going to be something against you, okay? Because you as a person didn't make the systems the way that it is, but you can't blame life on, you can't blame God for your world you created, man's world that was created in Earth. There's an opportunity for all of us at some point, hopefully, where we'll be able to break through the matrix and be able to see Earth's pattern for my life versus the world that was created for me. I hope that one day we'll be able to break through this matrix mentally and spiritually and soar above this particular paradigm to see Earth's pattern for my life versus the world that was given to me. Okay? And what it does, it gives us a false sense of how life should be. And a lot of you are dealing with depression that shouldn't be. A lot of you guys are dealing with anxiety that shouldn't be, because you should have a particular amount of faith and a particular amount of discernment to know everything's going to be all right. A particular amount of discernment to know how to circumvent certain things, and you wouldn't have that past, or you wouldn't be worried about that future, because you are not living in that present moment, that divine timing, that kairos. And that's what we're trying to teach you how to do, which is owner's mind. Okay. And so that's why we're so proficient with being able to utilize old ancient relics like this, which is a compass and a calculator, or a navigation tool and a calculation tool. And we're so rich to be able to know how to use this, because we're putting all of the ancient techniques together: numerology, astrology, theology, religion, medicine. All of it is together in this thing. So there's nothing outside of this that you gotta that we are missing. And the oldest information that each and every one of us bring into the paradigm is your birthday. Your birthday hold all the information, because it gives me information from what the cosmos were looking like during the time of your birth. And birthdays have always been important to everybody, including your most famous person on the planet, which is Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for his birthday, you wouldn't know nothing about it. It started out about a birthday. It started out about following the cosmos to get to a birthday, because you realize that through the cosmos, this is what told you about a birthday. You didn't have a calendar that told you. Didn't nobody mama tell you about it. You was following the cosmos to know about a birthday. And so my point to you is that these birthdays, being caught up in the cosmos, this is something that they eradicated so that you will never know who the divine people that's coming on the planet. You don't know who are the divine people coming on the planet, because you don't know this information. But back then in the day, we used to be able to use this information to know who's with who. Messiah, next king, next leader, or you just a peasant. So these things had a lot of influence. The cosmos had a lot of influence on early civilization, but here's the problem: it ain't went nowhere. Just because you stop believing in it, the cosmos still is influencing you. Just because you don't stop reading about it, the cosmos is still influencing you. Just because you don't stop thinking about it, the cosmos is still influencing you. And just because you don't even want to know about it doesn't mean nothing, because the cosmos are still influencing you. If it wasn't for the sun, you wouldn't know about day. And if it wasn't for the moon, you wouldn't know nothing about night. And if it wasn't for none of this, you wouldn't know nothing about what time it is. So you are still rolling and being controlled and being influenced under the cosmos, whether you want to believe in it or not. This doesn't require your belief, religious people, and it'll still work for you. It's an ancient tool that we're using to help us heal ourselves. Any questions? Okay, any questions? Do I got any questions? You got all? Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna be able to see it. Do you teach personal years as well? What you mean teach personal years? What does that mean? What do you mean by teaching personal years? How do I transition to vegan eating? Bit by piece. If that's what you want to do, you just do it bit by piece. You just start eating more fruits and vegetables. Wean yourself off of whatever you're eating. I don't know what that is, but whatever you're eating, you wean yourself off of it and just start doing. But you do a transition diet instead of just cold turkey, because you want to be able to build your stomach acids up, and you want to be able to allow your stomach acid to get used to the proper diet that you're trying to do. Again, when you're eating fruits and vegetables, it requires a lot less stomach acid than protein, right? So that's a fluctuation. So protein stomach acid, your stomach acid need to be really low. Okay, really low on the acidity scale. Fruits and vegetables don't require it to be that low. So therefore, when you transition, that's what you're transitioning, that slow process to allow that stomach acid to get used to stuff. And then that way the fruits and vegetables don't bloat you, don't cause you this and cause you all those types of problems. All right. So just transition, bro, little piece by piece. You can also include more herbal teas. Yeah, if that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to do. What's going on YouTube? If you guys got questions, you can go ahead and ask me as well. Yes, sir. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Jessica Gordon, if you need help, please DM me and we'll get you the owner's manual. Okay. If you need help, please DM me and we'll get you the owner's manual. Okay. What about HRT for postmenopausal symptoms? Yeah, I mean, when you start going toward these outside inorganic things, right, you're going to always be on them. Okay, you're going to always be on those things. So anytime you're dealing with your hormones and you're using some outside source to do that, obviously that is an inorganic substance going into the body. Now, my only biggest thing about inorganics, whether it be HRT or vitamins and minerals and the wrong type of iron and calcium that we be taking and magnesium pills and all this crazy stuff that you call vitamins and minerals. Y'all got to watch that stuff. I don't believe in vitamins and minerals in the way that you do. But my point is that these inorganics, what they do is they are very immunosuppressive because your immune system will fight it off because it is not natural to your existence. So therefore, you have to be very careful. So yeah, it could be working in one way while hurting you in another. So a lot of these medications, a lot of these pills, a lot of these vitamins and minerals, and a lot of these inorganic foods and whatever it may be, when you make it enter to your body, vaccines and all this stuff, you make it enter into your body, they get you very immunosuppressive. So they may help on one end here, but they'll make you prone to sickness on another end. And that's my biggest thing about asking me about inorganic treatments. Okay. But if you're looking for menopausal things, the biggest thing is watch your emotions, earthly color brown. Right. So is your hormones is not about a bodily function more than it is about an emotional function. Your emotional functions is about how you feel. If you're always up in your feelings and if you got a man around, children around, job around, that just keeping you so emotionally out of balance and out of whack, then that is really what you need to be doing to balance your menopausal thing, is working on your emotions. Right. And then we just got to figure out what those things are that's ailing you. And most of the time dealing with menopausal women is going to be guilt and unforgiveness. OK, guilt and unforgiveness is one of the biggest reasons why people suffer from menopause or reproductive issues, period. And then if it's not that, then we got to be looking at delusion and loneliness. Delusion and loneliness also is a big thing because it constitutes the pituitary gland. And for y'all that don't know biology, the pituitary gland is very much conducive to your reproductive organs as well, because it's really about the growth and development. Puberty and all that stuff comes from the pituitary gland. Okay, so you want to be careful. It has a lot to do with how you produce your hormones, your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone. It's got a lot to do with how we come out a little feminine and all masculine and all that type of stuff. So deal with those emotions of delusion and loneliness if they're there, and guilt and unforgiveness, earthly color brown. And that's how we start to solve these diseases. Okay, diseases, if they're not going nowhere, it's because it's spiritual. Okay, so I've been taking testosterone cream. Nah, you got to control your emotions a different way. How do you know you have acidosis? Skin issues, acne issues, boil issues. If you got bloating, if you pooting, farting, if you're burping, if you got acid reflux, GERD, all these things, acne, dandruff, eye jam, toe jam, all that stuff means you got acidosis. Okay, any kind of mucus coming out of your body, you got acidosis. Okay, any kind of mucus. If you got sinuses and they acting up, it's because you done got too acidic, and so now you got to dispel the mucus, and it's gonna use what it can use to dispel that excess mucus. That's why our detox is one of the most powerful detox on the planet. It's actually the #1 selling item that we have on our thing. And it's my first item that I particularly made from this 4-element healing system, which is which is going to be the owner's manual. And it basically is a 21-day lymphatic cleanse, and it lymphatic system uses 4 pathways because it's not a pump, so you can't get it out you, but it uses 4 pathways to be able to eliminate mucus from your lymphatic system. It uses your skin, so you sweat it out, your lungs, so you cough it up or you breathe it out. It uses your colon, so you're going to defecate it out, and it uses also your kidneys, so you're going to urinate it out. So guess what? The 4-element eliminator detox is going to make you piss, poop, cough, and sweat. Okay, and that's how you start to get out some of this acidosis. Another thing you can do is start going to a 14-day green juice. All right, a 14-day green juice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All you do is green juice for 14 days, and that will also be your first aid for acidosis. All right. Where's my moderator at, man? Moderator, where you at? Because I can't see you. Okay, I see you right now. I got you. Yes, we shipped everywhere in the U.S. earthly color brown. So there's nowhere in the U.S. that herb won't find your front door. Okay? There's nowhere in the U.S. Nutrafone that the herbs won't find your front door. Okay? So if you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us. If you're interested in the detoxes, y'all know y'all can just go there to the website and get all that type of stuff. Thoughts on 40-day fasting water only. Why do something like that? See, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, you guys are devaluing the physical part of you, this lower self. You have to be able to understand how to preserve your body. And what you're doing is you're going to one extremity to the next, right? So you're so overly consumptive, that causes you problems. And then so now you just want to be overly desolate. You want to be just starvation type of thing to retract the problem. You're sending your body through stressors, right? So being overly consumptive is a stressor, yes. But also fasting and doing all this stuff and starving the body is also a stress on the body. So what we're trying to do is get you to be in the center, not too extreme in nothing you do. And that's what the fallibility of, I think, life is for the human species, is that we are just too overly consumptive with things that we like. If you like it, you can't stop it. If you like masturbating, you can't stop it. If you like porn, you can't stop it. If you like milk, you can't stop it. If you like chicken wing, you can't stop it. If you like working, you can't stop it. If you like money, you can't stop it. If you like him, you can't stop it. If you like this, you can't stop it. And that is the problem. And then you get over here, okay, well, I don't want sex no more, so I go to church. And now can't nobody, you just church this and church that and Jesus this and Jesus that. And you're going too extreme with everything. So you got to be able to see your tendencies to be extreme. See your tendencies to be addictive. And folk always talking about stuff, but even pastors, they may not necessarily have the same addiction you got, but they got one. Some of you is reading the Bible too much, studying too much, neglecting your children in the house, reading the Bible. You're neglecting your wife in the house, reading the Bible. You're doing it too much, pastor. What are you doing? You hurting something to do some good. So everybody got something they got to watch out for. Because again, I'm going to repeat this. You have a sensation ability that when you like something, you want it all the time. And you don't know how not to do that if it's your will to do that. And that's why this your world versus the earth is very important, to allow you to understand how to relinquish some of this work over for some help. And you need to understand that you need help in this paradigm. In order for you to reach 120 years old, in order for you to reach everlasting life, all of this stuff that you've been reading about, you got to understand the value of help and the value of sharing the space in this paradigm with your other leg. And your other leg is not just this leg. Your other leg ain't just the woman, man. Your other leg ain't just the man, woman. Your other leg is your mind and your body working in the cohesiveness together through this paradigm. So that means that you got to share time with your spirit just as well as your body. That means that there's a time and place where your spirit consciousness needs to lead you and not your intellect. And you don't know where that's at. And we can show you that in the owner's manual. That's all we're trying to show you, is that we can show you where you're at. Remember that this is a compass and a calculator. That's why I need your birthday. We put your birthday in there, and then it's going to pull up where you at. Navigation, your GPS, your current location versus your destination. And then it's also going to calculate what you need to be doing and what life lessons are. Again, your mind can be in Aries. There's a lot of Aries out here. You can be stuck in an Aries mind because you're Aries. You're all about self. You're all about self-identity, self-appearance, self-awareness, self-improvement. You're all about self. But as an Aries, you could be dealing over here with some health issues. You in Virgo, but you won't deal with the Virgo shit. You won't deal with Virgo's lesson on your life because your ass is over here still thinking Aries. So your mind is in Aries when your body is in Virgo. That's the separation. And that's what we're trying to teach you, how to get into divine timing by knowing where you are. And we get this with the owner's manual. Do I have any questions? You seen any questions?
No, I answered.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? All right. If you have a disease, please come on to the live. Let us know what you got going on. You put me in the chat, we'll bring you up. If you're having a disease, okay, a real critical disease, no, I don't need any birthdays. Just put me in the chat and come up on the live, okay? If you're having a disease and you're wanting help, put me and come up on the live. If you're having mental illnesses and you want to come up, put it on the live. Relationship issues and you want to come up, put me in the chat and come up on the live. With our mind being Aries, but our body in Virgo, because the body goes by the current astrological. No, so the body is in time. The body is stuck in time. Remember that you started in the womb of the mind, okay? That's a great question, and that's why I love questions, okay? I'm a teacher, but sometimes I run out of topics. I want you to create the topic by telling me what's on your mind, because I know enough of this shit where it don't matter what you ask me at this point. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you ask me about, whatever subject matter. You talk about prison, you can talk about getting rich, you can talk about whatever you want to me. Okay? We've been able to be able to have a lot of experiences in this world that we can show you, at least be able to give you an avenue of how to get out of here. So you have this particular dynamic to where when you're looking at time, right? That you're coming into this existence from time. Remember, you got Kairos and you got Chronos, right? You got Uranus and then you got Saturn, right? So Uranus slept with Gaia. Both of them had a baby named Saturn. So basically, Change slept with Earth, and then Change and Earth both had a time, because Change created seasons in the earth, and then that created time. So then time wanted to be God. Now this is the old ancient Greek mythology. Saturn wanted to be God and then wanted to get with Uranus and take him off the throne. Okay, so he actually was able to do that. So the son of Uranus and Gaia wanted to take daddy's spot, take daddy's shine, wanted to be God. Time actually made it happen and stood on the throne. But love became the savior. Love represented Venus. Love came to the rescue of Change and took time off of the rulership and put Change back up there. All we talking about is Uranus, Saturn, Venus, and the Earth. Okay, that's all we talking about planetarily. That's all we talking about. But you put human form on it, and then you start these stories that you biblically got today as theology and seminaryism and all that type of stuff. So my point to you is that you came into the paradigm with this thing of time and change. Your mind can change, but when your body gets into the paradigm, unfortunately, it's stuck in time. So how do you preserve the body when it's stuck in time? Changing of the mind. But if you put your mind in time while your body's in time, then that's what you call being stuck in the matrix. So the only thing that can come out of time is the mind. The only thing that can be free from the matrix is the mind. But what you're trying to do is reach everlasting life. Well, we don't need, life is not really associated with your spirit. Your spirit is associated with death, right? Your spirit is associated. I'm just saying, in the story that we read, it's your spirit that goes to heaven after you die. So you very seldomly see everlasting life being associated with life. It's associated with death. And what I'm trying to get you to do is associate everlasting life concept with life in life. Therefore, now the mind starts to grasp something that you don't have to necessarily conceive after death, because how can you conceive something after death? But you need to perceive what everlasting life looks like within life, and that's going to hold a great value on the body and the body preservation. So when the mind can catch up to the body, when the mind can meet up with the body, yes, your body can get sick because it's in time. So there's seasons of sickness, there's seasons of desolation, there's seasons of isolation, there's seasons of sociability, there's seasons of this and of that, because these are the seasons of life. So time, the body can be stuck in a place. It happens, but your mind got to be the other polarity of the situation. So if your body is in positive, then your mind need to be in negative. This ain't this positive and negative ain't talking about good or bad. This positive and negative that I'm talking about, it ain't a right or a wrong. This positive and negative that I'm talking about is just using a dual energy. And so we have the dual energy, but we don't know about it. If you go right now and go get your natal chart reading, they'll be telling you stuff wrong because they don't know as much information as they need to know. So what is this positive and negative that you're talking about? Each and every person has a dual role, a dual ego in you. Every Aries at the sound of my voice has a Librian quality. Every Libra has Arian quality. So you always got these positive and negative sides of things. So what's an Aries? The Aries is the selfishness in me. Well, then what's the Libra? The Libra is the selflessness in me. Okay, so what's the Taurus? The Taurus is the personal possessions that I can obtain. But then what's the Scorpio? The mutual possessions that I can. So you see, the positive and negative energy ain't got nothing to do with right and wrong, ain't got nothing to do with good and bad. It's got something to do with being able to get the duality of the experience. So you can be single in this paradigm. You can also be with somebody. You can never have children in this paradigm. You also can have 20 children. You can be poor in this paradigm. You also can be rich in this paradigm. You can be sick as hell in this paradigm, you guys. But you can also be healed. And that's all we're trying to get y'all to open up your mind and see. The medication does not have this polarity. Medications do not have this polarity. And I beg to, I hate to say this, but also some of these yoga, meditative practices and religious sectors and churches don't have the polarity. They're not giving you the polarity for your problem. So if you're overly stimulated and you're going to church, you're being more overly stimulated. So now you got two positive and no negative energy. Not a good or a bad, not a right or a wrong, but I just need the difference. I just need the difference. And the owner's manual is sure to bring you that understanding. Okay. So that's what we're trying to get you to understand. Kimberly, hopefully I was able to get that. Did I miss any questions? Okay. What was the question? You can just get on the live, baby, and let me know.
People say I have lipedema in my legs. My dermatologist said no cure.
Okay, you got you said lipedema. So lipedema and all this stuff is just, again, it's a part of your emotional whereabouts. Okay, anytime that we're building up mucus in our bodies, anytime that I told you guys, anytime you have these skin issues and these mucus and lymphatic issues, causing you to have a good imbalance in your feelings. Okay, in your feelings. So therefore, you're holding this water because your waters are imbalanced, and it's because your feelings. You're so emotional about everything. You either got a feeling about something, something to say about something, something to do about something, and you're so caught up in your feelings every day. You can't let nothing pass. You're either trying to help everybody or everybody need to try to help you. You're just always in your feelings. So when you get so emotionally imbalanced like this, it can cause these things of lipedema and all that type of stuff. Now, guess what? We can get you something to drain you. You know, you can always do a burnout route, or you can always go and get the detox and stuff like that. My 21-day detox, it'll drain you. Okay, but what's gonna stop it from coming back? What I just told you, your emotions. Otherwise, your ass got to be drinking a detox all your life, and you can't do that. I'm just the first one to tell y'all the truth on here. I'm not trying to get you to buy from me all your life. Buy from me one time and you never need me again in your life. And that's because I'm educating you on you instead of trying to create industry from your ignorance of yourself. Oh, these motherfuckers don't know shit, but I'm gonna goddamn make $1 million. No, I'm gonna teach y'all how to do this shit, bro. For the little funky $50, everybody gonna know what everybody need to know. That's it. Okay? If you don't know the game, then cool. You don't need to know it. Any other question? No other question. Okay? So that's what we're trying to teach you here with this particular dynamic of what we're doing. All right? With this dynamic of what we're doing. So you got to understand how is able to be able to break through your disease, or break through your poverty, or break through your isolation or your solidarity, or to break through your social anxiety. What can do this? What can break through my worry? What can break through my frustration or my depression? We can show you how those things can work, but it's going to take you having to move things around in your real life. Not just about moving things around in your body, but about moving things around in your real life. Do you want to be able to get your world aligned with the earth? If you can understand that, then you can be able to do this efficiently. And I think it's all about responsibility and due diligence to do that. I think it's all about due diligence and responsibility to do that. I don't know what's going on now, but I think it's all about due diligence and responsibility to do that. Going into my Capricorn season, what should I focus on? Capricorn season is nothing more than just focusing on your legacy, right? What you want to stand for, what you want to leave behind. Also, it's a time of long-term goal planning for the rest of your life. But Capricorn is mostly going to be about how you feel about structure, right? And how you feel about devising those things. Okay. And that's really what it's all about. The biggest lesson of Capricorn is that it may be okay for you to shake things up. Okay. Shake things up a little bit. Where can we purchase the detox? On the website? Okay, just go to my website. It's on my link and all of that. Just type in detox and it'll come up. All right. Anybody else got anything else? What's the website? Please put my website up there, www.loveherbman.com, loveherbman.com. Okay. Anybody else? I'm here for you. See, y'all think y'all gonna come on here and just waste my time today, but I ain't gonna do that today. Y'all thought y'all gonna come on here and I'm just gonna waste my time to talking. Hell no. We ain't gonna do that today. All right. If you ain't got nothing to say, then the live over with. We ain't gonna do that today. It's on y'all. The live is on y'all today.
So we have someone who wanted tell us, please can you talk more about delusional? Because I hear people talk about it as a positive frame of mind.
Turn your volume down. Okay. All right. Delusion. Delusion. Mute your phone. Doesn't know how to work this stuff. Delusion is delusion is going to be very big, because delusion is a part of the mind's ability to be in an unrealistic state of understanding, right? So you're delusional, and you understand the root word of delusional is deluge, right? So deluge means water. So that's why this is a part of the water element, which is what I'm talking about. So the pituitary gland is a part of that water element. It's the seventh chakra. Even though y'all may think that this is seven chakras, is actually the crown chakra is number 9. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is representing the water element, which represents a clouded perspective, right? Water over the eyes. So this ain't, I told y'all way before it get physiological, it's spiritual. So there is something that diluted your perspective in the first place that then can bring cataracts, can bring the glaucoma, and can bring all those different glasses and all that type of stuff, because your excuse me, your perspective got diluted, and therefore your eyes, your physical eyes got diluted. So delusion is when you're thinking that no one else understands. No one else is going through what I'm going through but me. Nobody else understands me is a delusional place and state of being. There are so many people on this planet that have went through similar, or that went through something as egregious as you, that can be as a comfort to you in your time of need. But the mind makes you isolate yourself to deal with something that you actually need to be accompanied, or somebody need to be supporting you through. And that's delusion. And it keeps you in the room by yourself. And when you're in the room by yourself, you smoking yourself to death. When you're in the room by yourself, you drinking yourself to death. When you're in the room by yourself, you eating yourself to death. When you're in the room by yourself, you porning yourself to death. Why? Because you are in delusion that nobody understands. And that's a scary, excuse me, y'all, that's a scary place to be. Okay? And you're not understanding that this is also, again, pituitarily can cause growth and development issues, cancer, tumors, and a lot of that. And I would beg to differ that this is probably one of the more major things going on the planet that's causing cancer. Okay? That's causing cancer. The pituitary gland, you guys, it produces growth hormones. Okay? I would beg to differ, and even I would say this on live right now, is that the pituitary gland, if you're not careful, that can be the culprit for cancer. Without you, and by mistake, because what's trying to heal you will fuck around and kill you. It didn't mean to, but it's because of its functionalities and what it's producing, and how it got its hands in so many different other things that cause growth factors as well. You want to be careful with that pituitary gland. You want to be careful with your perspective, how you view in life. It is very scary, isolating, and lonely. Yes, yes, yes. But that's what I'm trying to say. Your world is keeping you in this darkness, to where you can't see the value of the earth, the body. You see this? That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. I started this video out by talking to you and telling you that your world is your mind, and then your earth is the body, right? So we're understanding the value that we're putting on the body. I'm telling you, it's all about the body. This is what the yogis and all this stuff messed up. You see that when you come into the paradigm, there's so many rituals that go on with the body. Slapping the baby's ass. Some people do circumcision. Some people get circles and holes put in their body, and marks and all this stuff to signify the flesh coming into this thing, but to also understand the value of the flesh. They devalue it so much, right? And I'm telling you that this is the earth. Okay? If I can do nothing else, I'm trying to get you to change your perspective on the body. Body preservation. That's why it's health. This health is talking about your body, but I got to get it through your mind. Okay? So then when you're looking at it from that way, then we know that homeostasis is what we're trying to do. Okay? Remember that homeostasis is the goal. Earth life pattern for your life is the goal. God's pattern for your life is the goal. This is your world. And your world is the mind, and this represents what? Regeneration. So how do I keep in balance? Is through regeneration. How do I keep my body in balance? Is through regeneration. How do I keep homeostasis? Is through regeneration. So basically what he's telling me is that how I keep my earth is through my mind. How I keep my body preserved is through what I know, what I understand. And what I know is not what I believe, is what I know. So it is the value that we are not placing on the body, on the earth, that's making the problem. And we got to get you in your mind to understand that shit. We got to get your world. We got to get you so busy. Stop being so busy in your world that you finally realize that the earth, the body, is important to your existence. Otherwise, you're going to keep on dying, people. You're going to keep on having diseases, keep on having car accidents, incidents, keep on having violence until you silence your mind for a minute, silence the world that you created for yourself, and hear from the planet. Okay? What say you? Any other questions? I had some more questions.
Yeah.
What was the other question?
I have hypertension. It affects my spiritual.
They have what now?
Hypothyroidism.
Oh, okay. Is it hyper or hypo?
Hypo.
Okay, so you got an underactive thyroid that's affecting your pituitary. But I beg to differ because the pituitary is before the thyroid. So maybe the pituitary was the problem and then it started to affect the thyroid. Okay, but when you got hypothyroidism, all that means to me is that you got a big problem with doubt and trust. Big conspiracy theories. Maybe it's very hard for you to believe in people, believe in things. Maybe your trust has been shot throughout life. But it is this inability to trust. It is this inability to feel like you can be trusted, right? That people are out to get you. Conspiracy theory, all this type of stuff will start to affect your thyroid in a way that you've never seen before. So what I'm telling you is that you might want to look at the pituitary before you look at the thyroid, and then you might want to look at the hypothalamus before you look at the pituitary. Okay? So that's really what I would suggest you do. But anytime you got hypo anything, you want to be able to get the iodine in the body that your body needs. You want to be able to get the right salts in. If you get your owner's manual, we'll make sure that you get the right blends that you need. Okay. Anybody else? How do I clear delusions to regulate my centralized nervous system? Yeah. So you have to meditate it out. Okay. You got to release these things out. A lot of y'all don't know how to speak out loud until you speaking the wrong things. Okay. And then you want to wonder why your life fucked up. It's because you speak out loud the wrong things, but some of the stuff that you really need to be doing, you want to keep them as thoughts. Okay. We need to be speaking this stuff out loud. You cannot evict or what they call exorcise a demon without knowing his name. And a lot of you guys don't know that these demons are deadly emotions. And you got to know these emotions by name. So what you would do is go back into your room now and say, I release delusion and loneliness out of my body. I release delusion and loneliness out of my body. The word release has an energy and a frequency to it. Okay? And you're calling it what it really is by name. Now it's no more, I'm just trying to get over sin and I'm trying to do this. You call these things by name. Name of Jesus ain't going to get this stuff out. You got to call these demons by their name, not by the name of Jesus. So you got to know these things within you. And that's why the owner's manual is, again, so important, because it's highlighting your tendencies and it's getting you to know you better. And when you know your nature and you know nature, then you know how to blend your nature in with nature. Again, your world has to be in alignment with the earth. Okay, your world has to be in alignment with the earth. Absolutely, I've been doing that and it's working for me. Good, Aquabuji. Yeah, I had some other good news today. Some other people came and told me how their health is going with their natal blends, and so everybody's doing what they need to be doing. I need your advice too. I have hypothyroidism and vitiligo, both autoimmune and also RH. Yeah, so Money Q, you just got a lot of grief and depression going on, a lot of sadness and loss. I don't know what's happened to you within the time frame that you've been here. But if you got autoimmune disease, that's the grief and that's the depression. The hypothyroidism is going to be alluding to doubt and trust. Okay, the vitiligo and all that is some attachment issues. So that's why you're having some nervous system issues, you're having some thyroid issues, and some autoimmune issues, is because you're having attachment issues, doubt and trust issues, and then you're also having some grief and depression issues, right? And these things are hitting you back to back in life. And it sounds like to me, Money Q, that you can't let some of this stuff go. That means that you might be a water sign, okay? Because you like to hold on to stuff. But my point to you is that you got to let it go. Let it go. Looks like another love TKO. You got to let it go. Let that doubt, trust, and conspiracy stuff go. Okay, let that attachments to what you thought life was going to be and your wants, needs, and desires. Let it go. Okay, make your plan be in the will with what Earth life plan is for you. Okay, and be okay with Earth life's plan for you. All right. Anybody else? What about shingles? Shingles is ain't nothing but the same thing, you guys. It's a immune system issue, grief and depression. What about the kidneys? The kidneys is stress and anxiety. Since I was a kid, I was depressed. Yeah. And when you don't cure that, you're gonna be more sickle. You called me on WhatsApp, short girl. All right. And you've been trying to reach out 50 million times. I done showed you how to reach out. DM me, you email me. If you got an owner's manual, that's how you talk to me. Without an owner's manual, you can't talk to me. Because I want to know what to talk to you about, short girl. Okay? Without an owner's manual, you can't talk to me. I don't know what to talk to you about. I don't do just regular stuff. I don't go off my own ingenious anymore. Again, I don't know you. So why would you want me to tell you anything about you and I've never walked a mile in your shoes? I don't trust you to know yourself. I don't trust the doctor to know you. So I don't want no doctor's diagnosis. I don't want your diagnosis, and I'm not going to give you my diagnosis. You got to go and give me your birthday, and I'm going to take you and give you mama's diagnosis, okay? That's how we work. Y'all can't come and talk to me. You feel what I'm saying? Why would you want to talk to me anyway? Talk to the source that I work for. And that's your birthday and going to the owner's man. Okay? Anybody else? Anybody else? If you got the manuals and you got questions, then that's fine. You can ask me what you need. Tracy said, I need that. Sunshine Hunter, what's happening? What's happening? All right, if you guys want to come up on the live, you can just press me on the chat. If you got any kind of diseases, if you got any kind of relationship issues, any kind of mental health issues, this is the platform to talk about it. Just a Q&A today, you guys, nothing fancy. If you're interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. Can I give you my birthday? No, you can get your owner's manual though. Need manual, DM me for that. I'm going to purchase the owner's manual, perhaps some herbs. Cool. Just found July seems very interesting. It's all about interesting, right? Interesting is what makes your instincts start to peak, right? And that's what we're trying to do, evolve people and allow these instincts to kick in, this discernment, this intuition to kick in, that this is where they need to be. This is the information that you need to have. We're not into intellectually enticing you to do anything any longer. That's what people try to do, to fake you and trick you into buying something by trying to put large amounts of information on you to make it seem like they know what they're saying. Again, the best meal you ever had come from your mama, and that meal was free. So don't be looking at the quality of something in the price tag. You look at the quality of something in the love in it. Love is the major ingredient in our stuff, which is why we call our company loveherman.com. Just found July. How to work on focus and concentration. A very great question. Okay, very good question. Working on focus and concentration. This is really what meditation is actually all about. This is also what breathing is actually all about. It gives you these particular innuendos, right? It gives you these pathways in to being able to help yourself focus and concentrate. So you want to be able, bring Jay Parker up. You want to be able to breathe more in your day, walk in your day, practice. You want to be able to have a routine of breathing better in watching your posture as you go to work and whatever kind of work you do to be able to promote better breathing. Remember, we need to be slowing the breathing down, not speeding it up, right? So even you exercise freaks out there are doing something biologically against your human anatomy, but that's okay. All right, we teach everybody. So you want to slow breathing down, not speed it up. Okay, so you want to be able to understand how to do that, and in order for you to do that, I got them because you missed them, but I got them. So in order for you want to be able to do that, right? So breathing and all of that becomes a part of how you focus and concentrate. If you do 30 deep breaths in your nose and out of your mouth in the morning, you won't need a cup of coffee. If you do that same 30 deep breaths in your nose and out your mouth come a bedtime, you wouldn't need to take anything for sleep. Huh? If you breathe 30 deep breaths in your nose and out of your mouth in the morning, first thing in the morning, waking up, before you brush your teeth, before you get up out of the bed, all you doing is just getting up and sitting outside the bed. You ain't even put your slippers on yet. You won't need no coffee. It'll wake your ass up. And that same breathing technique at night will put your ass to sleep. Ain't that something? And so you'll understand that focus and concentration comes in with when you start going back to your natural, nature-based interventions with how you get peace. But right now we're getting peace through the bottle and through the blunt and through the woman, but you're not getting peace with nature. And I'm telling you, it's this relationship between your world and the earth. It's your relationship between you and God is causing interference, and you can't see the earth's pattern for your life in some of this stuff. Look, you're supposed to be able to look outside and be able to see God, not in your Bible, not in no book. No book ever supposed to tell a man about a spiritual, a superior thing. If it's going to be there, you got it because of the earth. You would have known something superior than you from the sun, from the air, from the water, from the planets that you can't control. You ain't got to tell me this about no Jesus Christ and no Mother Mary and no John Jukin for me to know. Not for me to know. Jay Parker, where you at, man? Going once, going twice. Answer your invitation. Cage Beauty. But you can't put them up. Just the ones that say me, put them up. Yeah, I already had did him. He ain't coming up, so it's all good. All right, answer your invitation, you guys. Not outside, no outside tendencies, but I get frustrated. If I'm not be ready to throw hands, I have a bell. If you said no outside tendencies, yeah, you do. Yeah, everybody got tendencies. I've been working on breathing before bed, very peaceful. Yes, yes. Emphysema can be eradicated. You just got to stop the smoking, and then we can give you a lung detox straight shooter. You just need a really nice lung detox, and then we got to start to relax your nerves that's producing all that irritation and inflammation, and then that's all we got to do. Yeah, you got to work on the breathing, right? So we got to get you to take the T's for you to be able to do that. So you need a lung detox, and then you're going to need some nerve relaxants to be able to help relax that inflammatory response. If you got inflammation in your lungs, then it's going to always create an immune response, and so that means it's always going to create mucus, which means you always got that coughing up that mucus stuff, or it sounds like it, or it feels like it in your throat. So we got to get rid of that and then relax the nervous system so it doesn't produce inflammation or an immune response. And then once we're able to fix the endocrine, nervous system, and the immune system, then you fix everything. I've showed y'all these secrets all throughout. If you guys want to know how to heal, just go back into the YouTube videos and see. Okay, your immune system, your nervous system, and your endocrine system is how you heal yourself because it's what's healed you. Those three systems, okay, along with some other ones that are attached to those, heals you. So as a repair person, my job is to go in and repair those systems that repair you. I ain't trying to repair you. I'm trying to repair those systems that repair you. You heal yourself. That's why this show is so big. Okay? That's why I'm growing so profusely over the last few months and days, because we are teaching you how that happens. You see what I'm saying? You got to heal yourself, and we're showing you how your body heals yourself, but we can also show you how your mind can heal your body. What's going on, Raymond? How can I help?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Hello.
Yes, how can I help you?
Yeah, my birthday is 3/27/76.
Okay, I ain't really doing birthdays today, bro. I was just doing. I mean, what do you got going on in your life?
Oh, neuropathy, and blurry eyes.
Neuropathy and blurry eyes. So you got blood sugar issues?
No, I don't.
Oh, so you don't have no blood sugar issues?
This is how it started. I did a surgery like 3 years ago, a stomach ulcer surgery, and ever since that, the problem solved with the stomach ulcer. But ever since that, I developed these problems after 2 legs numb. Right now, I'm walking on numb feet, and my eyes I can't see so well. So I've been trying to get to you, but I can't see so good to get on.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, man. So so you said 3 years ago you had a surgery on a hernia.
Yeah. I got a stomach ulcer 3 years ago. I'm in the store. It's a lot of stomach noise here right now.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of background noise, Raymond. You might want to hit me back, man. But yeah.
I'm gonna put this stuff down and get outside because I'm having a problem getting back to you because I can't see so good to get back to you. But I'm gonna walk out the store real quick.
Yeah.
Get the car real quick.
Just mute Raymond for me. Just mute Raymond for me till he get into a good better spot.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good.
All right, Sunshine. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How you doing?
Hey, Mr. HerbMan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How can I help?
Good. I have a serious question.
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you always say that you don't know us when you really do? When I got my consultation from you, you were saying that you didn't know me, but you told me more things about myself that I never knew.
Yeah, but that wasn't me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That wasn't me. I don't know you, Sunshine. Trust me, I don't know your motherfucking name. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't goddamn know you. What I'm trying to get you to understand is God knows you, but I'm using it and saying nature. I'm trying to do this for everybody. I could come the way I really want to come, but I would lose people. And this ain't about losing people. This is about gaining my brothers and my sisters. And I'm tired of using divisive rhetoric to do that. So I'm trying to keep it cool. And I'm saying nature. Okay, but God knows you. You just don't know God, and that means you don't know your life. Nature knows you. You just don't know you, and therefore you don't know your life. But trust and believe me, so I don't know you, but I was trying to show you that there's no way I should know you based on you just giving me a birthday. So the fact of the matter that I know anything about you based on a birthday should let you get a little bit more of an understanding of how powerful the information I'm really trying to convey over to you. I want you to know that nature knows you. Mama Nature, God knows you. You're not living a unintentional life. You're not living a incidental, accidental life. It's just that you don't know thyself. You get it?
Yes, I do.
That's
Absolutely.
It. That's it.
You always break it down on the phone when we talk. You have me in tears because you broke it down. I mean, broke it down.
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate it, and I know I get that a lot, but it just isn't a testament over to what it is that we're trying to teach you guys What it is that I'm using social media for is to say that, damn, I didn't even know that this could happen. I was coming up as a Christian. I was in the streets. I was corporate America. I have been poor. I've been broke. I've been homeless. I done had a little money. I done did all of these things, but I did them in a way to where I felt like it was luck. It was lucky. You were lucky you caught me, police, just like you were. It was luck that I got this good job. It was always luck. And I did not know that you can live life intentional. Huh? I can live it intentional? Yes, but you got to use intuition. Your discernment got to be well. Ain't nobody ever taught me that kind of living in this life. And so when I learned that that's an ability to live this life, ooh, you done messed up then you done messed up then. Especially a brother like me, you done messed up because I'm always trying to find the cheat code. You feel what I'm saying? And then I realized that the cheat code is not in Google. It ain't in YouTube. It ain't in, because you made these things. See, the cheat code is inside of you. And I said, boy, I start going in me and start pushing all kind of buttons I ain't never pushed. I start stretching myself. I start being able to do things I ain't never done. And next thing you know, I start getting into places I ain't never been. But I didn't know I could do them until I started stretching myself. I started pushing all of the buttons in the spacesuit to realize I can do way more than intellectually they ever told me I can do, because this intuitive side has been at a default. Now, you go to church to find out about this. You're supposed to be in these religious sectors to get this learning, but you see how we're still miseducated on this side of it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then in our time of need, we pray, but we don't know how to see prayer. I just want y'all to look at this one thing really quick. I love all believers. I love everybody, but prayer is I want you to understand what prayer is. Prayer is when you're sick, you're needing to be magnetic. You needed to reserve energy, conserve energy, and you need to draw energy in. Prayer is a cry out. It ain't an inhalation of power in, it's an exhalation of vulnerability out. So you're putting more energy out through a prayer. And what we're trying to get you to do is meditate it in, magnify it into you. When you say you're
that thing in,
there you go. You bring it into you. Ain't no need in shouting out because it's in. If anything, shout inward. Right. you understand what I'm saying? So it is nothing against prayer. Sometimes you got to externalize. Sometimes you got to get it out. But what I'm saying is when you're sick, it's about getting it in. And that's why I was saying with church is if I got a overly stimulated nervous system about life, anxiety is overstimulation. You're worried. When I come into church, I'm not going to overstimulate you. I will calm the situation down. You see how this music playing in the background? That's church.
I love it.
That's church. Everybody come into church. Everybody quiet. Everybody just vibing to them. See, a pastor don't need to talk. The facility is you don't facilitate what? Just get the building, cut the music on, have the air blowing, let folk come in with their mind, and they're gonna find. Look, you're gonna find it in the mind. You don't need the book. I don't need you to read to me. See, life got me here, so I'm just going to go back in my life. I might go back in the past. I might go into the future, but I'm doing it in the house of God where the Spirit is at. So it's going to happen. I don't need no man to say nothing. I just need you to provide the environment, and the environment is the frequencies. And that's what we're trying to do. Provide y'all with these frequencies. They ain't in people's voices. They're in your mind. They're in the voice of your mind.
Oh, with them.
Mm-hmm. Now go ahead, Sunshine. I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
I want to tell you one more thing before I get off also. I always feel like when I'm listening to you and when I spoke to you a couple times that I am in the presence of some ancient person who's full of wisdom, who has lived through multiple lifetimes.
I mean, I don't know. I can't say that. All I can say is death is failure, right? So if I have, I'll tell y'all a story that nobody believes, but it's true. When my son was 5 years old, we was at the dinner table, and I remember telling him about fear. And I told him that I don't fear anything but death. And it's because it is the most scariest thing to me because life is so good. And I always wonder, as a young kid, why we gotta die? Why you gonna tell me about Jesus, but then I gotta die? Grandmama and them gotta die. Cuzzo them gotta die. Aunt them gotta die. And I'm studying hearing this, but you can live forever story, right? And it was just perplexed. And so I always had a vendetta out on death, not on disease. My vendetta always been on death. I ain't never like it. I don't go to nobody's funeral. They don't even like me. I don't go to nobody's funeral. You can believe that. You know what I'm saying? So so the thing about it is I hate to see a failure. And the failure is coming because of our ignorance, because nobody is learning from our ancestors. When I was in the Navy, they used to say a thing that all these rules were written in blood. So we didn't know that not to be over here until somebody died over here to tell you not to be over there, cuzzo. So you see that all these rules that we got, all these findings, all these books that you're reading, these things, people died behind these opinions. People died behind their experiences. So it is up to you to learn from them. And what I learned is that we all have had a sensation ability of trying to live forever because it was beautiful here and we don't know what we don't know before we came. Y'all can talk about this afterlife shit all you want to. Before you came out your mama womb, what did you know? Sunshine?
Nothing.
So that's the same.
Nothing to my remembrance.
That's the same place you're going to go back to in death. Your senses of the human senses are going to go. So what we view heaven is from a human senses. Somebody told you and wrote it down and you studied and it created an image in your mind of what this is. That's a human consciousness. That ain't really what it is because that's what you think it is. See, and you don't realize that your mind is the world. It created this world. So you don't know that your mind created this world and you don't know what's real or fake in your world. And it's one only thing in here that you're going to be able to do to size up your inventions, to size up your creation. The Bible say that all things shall be tried by fire. So that's how you know the real God. It said all them gods came, and then the real God was going to try everything by fire. So if you had a stick God, if you had a moon God, if you had this God, it said, all right, bring all your gods and build these things. And then we're going to try it by fire. The shit that burn up ain't the real God. That's how they tried the fake gods back in. So this is what it is today, is that all of your creations, man, if you think that you really the God, then watch an earthquake come, watch a typhoon come, watch a this, that, and come. If it stand the test of time, then we can call it that. And look at the pyramids. Look at these things that they had built according to the land that have stood all these earthquakes, all this stuff. You can still see it to this day. Now, a tornado can come right now and tie down the Empire State Building just like 9/11 did. So you see that your stuff can be tried by fire. So this is life. Your world is being tried by fire. Your creativities and your will is being tried by the fire. And guess what happens? Then you start running into shit that your God can't save you from. Now you start running into cancer. But what about your God? And then you start running into this. But what about your God? And then you start running into that. Well, but I thought you said you serve the true and living God. See, when your life get tried by fire, why isn't it what you believe working for you?
Teach.
Your life is going to get tried by fire. What you believe in, what you attest to is going to get tried by fire. To know who is the real one. And I'm telling you that we're losing at this trial because we have not been taught the realness yet. The earth's pattern for your life is your real pattern. That don't mean you can't have your world. I've never sat here and told anybody to put up your world. What I'm telling you is that you got to align your world up to the earth's life pattern for your life, or God's will for your life. When you align your will up with God's will for your life, then again, I'm telling you, the way you want to feel for money, you will feel when you're in alignment with nature. The way you want to feel in love, the way you will feel when you're in tune with nature. The way you want to feel all established and all accomplished is the way you would feel when you're in tune with nature, when you're living your calling and your reasoning. And it ain't got nothing to do with money, y'all. It's got something to do with purpose. Okay? Raymond, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying, like years ago, I had a stomach ulcer. I go to the doctor, they do what they do. That problem is solved, but I end up with neuropathy in both legs and my eyes not working so good.
No, the problem ain't solved, Raymond. The problem, the problem ain't solved. No, the problem ain't solved. So what happened is, before you got an ulcer in your digestive system, you had some self-control issues. Okay, these self-control issues started to mess with your digestive system. Now we ain't got to talk about them on here, Raymond, but I'm gonna tell you what I know. Before you got them ulcers in your stomach, you had self-control issues doing shit you ain't got no business doing, but we ain't got to talk about that on the live. Now the problem is that self-control issue, it hasn't been solved.
I hear you.
Okay, my brother. DM me, get you your owner's manual, we'll help you, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, peace. All right, Sunshine, if you ain't got nothing else to say, man, all right, peace. If you don't have nothing else to say, Sunshine, then we'll holler back, sis. I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much, HerbMan. Take care.
Yes, ma'am, you too. Peace.
Thank you.
James, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you? Okay, when y'all come to the HerbMan Show, I will not play with you guys, okay? At all. I will not play. I don't play with other folks' children, so I will never play with you, okay? So be ready for the truth, okay? I ain't going to put your business out here on Front Street either, but I'm not going to play with you about y'all diseases. Remember, this is mental illness. This psychological, way before it's physiological. So I'm always listening to you and listening to you here. I ain't listening to your problems that you're telling me. I'm listening to your voice tell me those problems. Listen to what I just told you. I'm not listening to y'all problems. I'm listening to your voice, the frequency. Tell me your problems, and I know what you're doing. Go ahead, James. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help? I done scared James. James going once, going twice. Cash, you love me, DM me, and we'll get you your owner's manual. DM me, and we will get you your owner's manual. Earthly Color Brown. We done invited you a couple times. Come on up. Listening to what they're not saying. Nah, it's a frequency in which they explain it. I listen to what they're saying, but I listen to the octaves in their voice. I can listen to your octaves. An octave can tell me if it's anxiety. An octave can tell me if it's depressive. An octave can tell me if you're overstimulated. An octave can tell me if you're working from a understimulated. Your octaves can tell me if you're frustrated. Yeah, and all of this is still overstimulated, understimulated, right? But I look at these octaves, and these octaves is gonna let me know that you want to tell me about this, but just like you said, but you ain't told me about that. And so it's fine, because I won't put folks' business out here, but I do want folks to know that you got to explain more than what you're telling the doctor. That's why y'all ass is not being healed, because you don't know yourself, and you going in there telling the doctor wrong information, you get wrong medication. But who gonna be able to stop that? You don't know yourself, going in there telling the doctor what you think it is. They give you medications for what you said it was, and it wasn't that. So that's why I don't do doctor's diagnosis and I don't do self-diagnosis, because until you know thyself, how will I receive that? Okay? User 908, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Hey there, HerbMan. I've spoken to you before and I have received my owner's manual, but I thought I would ask this question on the live just in case maybe somebody else is having the same experience.
Okay.
But I'm having thyroid issues. Been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and some of my biggest symptoms are gut issues, blood sugar, and my energy is just super low. So, just wondering if just want to get some feedback on that.
Well, I mean, so we've been talking. There's a lot of people on the show today talking about the thyroid. One of the biggest things about the thyroid is, like I've been saying, especially in women. Women, the voices are seldomly. I'm not saying, when I say this, I'm not talking about you can't speak. I'm talking about being heard when you speak. A lot of women are in situations, whether it's in the workspace or whether it's in the home space, because of the designs of some of these people relationships, where the woman's voice is not being heard or not being valued in the way that it needs to be in this paradigm. And one of the offshoots of suppressing one's voice is thyroid problems. Another problem is going to be doubt and trust issues, because you've been lied to, you've been plotted on, and you've been tricked so many times, and you've been lied to so many times. It could be very difficult to trust again and to provide people with that trust. And so what happens is that's going to also affect thyroid. And so you'll find that thyroidism is very big in the female community. Okay. But what that is an attestament to in the underbelly of it is how these emotions stir up your harmony within you and cause fluctuations in the waters of your life. And the waters of your life is how you feel about things. So you got all of these life things messing with your feelings, which then messes with your waters. And then y'all call it the thyroid, and y'all call it Hashimoto's and all of this. But what I call it is emotional imbalance. You've been going through so much stuff in your life that you literally have emotionally got off balance, and through the organ that keeps you in balance, off balance. So how do we fix that? Is we got to fix your emotional life. Because again, look at the organs that's along that line. So if I mess with your thyroid, I'm messing with your speech, I'm messing with your weight. Then on the same line as the thyroid is going to be the pancreas. Well, that's one of your major digestive organs. So now you got digestive problems. Okay. Then you got low energy. Well, another organ along at the bottom of the pancreas is the adrenals. So that's going to help you with your lethargy and your energy issues. Then you got kidney issues because the adrenals sit on the kidneys. So all of those things you just talked about is on the same system, one system, endocrine system, which is your emotional system, sis.
Makes sense.
Okay, so when a woman gets, because you are vibing off of feelings while the brother is vibing off thoughts and feelings supposed to work together to make it through this paradigm. Okay, that's why I told you got 2 feet, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and you got 2 lips and everything else, and you got a man and a woman here, because the both of y'all are supposed to be able to balance this life together, right? So it's the same thing. You're supposed to balance yourself in thoughts and feelings. But when a woman comes into the paradigm, if she doesn't learn how to maintain and encapsulate her feelings, then they can throw her harmony off. Well, the same thing with the man. If you don't understand how to maintain your thoughts, man, then it'll throw your nervous system off.
Okay.
And that's the way they're attacking us. Okay. Any other questions?
Okay, so basically, just have to work on my emotional balance.
Yes, you got to work on handling your emotions, okay? You got to work on handling your emotions. And that's why meditation and deep breathing and going outside and having nature-based interventions, whether it's a little bit of time outdoors, you need about 4 hours of direct sunlight. You need about, in them same 4 hours of direct sunlight, you can be out there getting unconditional air, right? So you breathing from outside instead of air conditioner all day. What I'm saying is, do something that you know give you peace, that adds nature. Get into green spaces. Go outside more. Walk more. Outdoors more. Go to the beach more. The water more. The river, the lake. Whatever you got to do, get outside, sis, and let water can balance your waters.
Okay, got it. I'm headed outside right now.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. Yeah. Because those things, if we can do those, if we can start really resting the mind, that's what it's all about, resting the mind. You sleep But this mind, you know, your mind, because see, if you got to think about how hard it is to rest the mind, because you can be thinking all the way up until you go to sleep, then you start dreaming. The mind still ain't rested. The body sleep, but the mind ain't. So it's important to rest the mind. And you want to get into places where you ain't even worried about the children. For this 5 or 10 minutes, I ain't even worried about kids. 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not worried about work or the boss or any kind of deadline. For 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not worried about what to eat or what to drink. For 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not worried about where to go. For 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not worried about what to do. I ain't trying to go pee-pee. I ain't trying to go boo-boo. I don't want to take no bath. I don't want to brush no teeth. I don't want to take no makeup on or off. For 5 or 10 minutes, I don't want to do absolutely nothing.
Gotcha. Don't want to cook.
Nothing.
Or clean.
Nothing. There is nothing that you desire to do. Give me 5 to 10 minutes where I am not thinking of doing absolutely nothing. And when we start getting that, you'll start seeing earth life patterns for your life different from the world that we live in.
Gotcha. Another question. I've experienced insomnia for a very, very long time. Does that fall right along with the organs you're talking about with sleep and relaxation, rest, meditation?
Yeah, so the top of that line, so the top of the endocrine system is going to be the pineal gland. And the pineal gland represents your sleep and your biological clock and your circadian rhythm. And also it can affect your mood swings and all types of stuff as well. So this sleep thing is going to be indicative of how much sunlight you're getting. I bet you ain't getting enough sun. Did they ever say you had vitamin D deficiency?
Yes.
There you go. And I'm talking about you got a vitamin D deficiency from your sleep question, not sunlight. You see how I did that? You see how I just did that, right? A lot of people think they got vitamin D deficiency from sunlight, but it's a sleep. You can get it from insomnia. Vitamin D deficiency. So therefore, sleep and sunlight go together. The more sunlight you get, the more you're going to be restless, the more you're going to be able to sleep at night. So I knew that if you ain't getting no sleep, you ain't getting no sunlight, then that must mean that you ain't getting no vitamin D. So you got to make sure that you're out getting this outside, this direct sunlight. Like I said before, you'll see that, man. You don't need to pay for shit. You just need to build your life around nature. You don't got to pay for this. This stuff ain't expensive, y'all. It's just that your life, your world doesn't have anything to do with nature.
Okay. Well, I want to order my herb blend, so I just email you, give you a call.
Yeah. No, so just email me, just say, hey, yo, I was on your live. I want to get my natal blend, and we'll go ahead and get it to you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, no problem. We appreciate you too. Peace.
Gratitude.
All right. So I got one here that I really do want to answer. Why do people have mental breakdowns, like literally completely lose their mind? You want to say something toward that? Why do people have mental breakdowns, like literally completely lose their mind? This was Cash, You Love Me. This was Cash, You Love Me. Great question, Cash. Okay, I do have an opinion about it. I don't know if she wants to chime in about it herself, but a lot of times the reason why people have these things is because, again, your world can create unrealistic types of things, unrealistic ways and thought patterns, because you're not on earth life patterns. When you're not on earth life patterns, you can expect something that just ain't gonna come. When you're not on earth life patterns, you're going through problems because you don't have discernment, because you're asking for shit out of season, eating foods out of season, asking for dreams out of season, asking for wants, needs, and desires that is just not your season in. So that's why a lot of people get mental breakdowns, because they have no control over this particular world that they call themselves living in. And it's very easy to lose your mind when you lose control. You know, you want to work, but you can't work. You want to eat, but you can't eat. You want to do this, but you can't because you feel like something is stopping you, or you've been delayed, or you've been denied, is because you haven't got the cheat code, which is intuition and discernment, so that you can circumvent and navigate to get to the abundance that you need, because you don't see abundance in your world because you're living, you don't understand Earth life's pattern. Earth life's pattern for the human species is abundance, is everlasting. But in our world, natural resources will deplete. But in the earth, it won't. In your world, you're scavenging for money, you're scavenging for last of everything. But in the earth, there's an abundance of all things. But your world, everything is expedient. In the earth, everything has a season. It has a holding pattern, a waiting pattern. And man doesn't want to wait on God. You don't want to wait on nature. So you have created what they call inventions of conventional living. Conventional living means that you done made things convenient. Convenience is your will and not God's will. Convenience is your world and not Earth life's pattern for human life. So that's why I said, when Mama Nature cooks something, you have the audacity to call it raw. Anybody ever psychologically understood the mental fuck that gives right there? Mama Nature done cooked something in the sun, but your first analogy of her cooking is that it's raw. This goddamn thing been sitting out here outside cooking in the sun for months to years. That this apple tree or this banana or this mango or this coconut been sitting out years for this thing to cook, but you say that's raw fruit and raw vegetables. You see how fucked up your world is to the earth life's pattern? I just made just those simple examples for you to understand how far off we are. Okay? I just want y'all to understand that, okay? So those are the things that we got to be able to do. All right? Those are the things that we got to be able to do, you guys, all right? Any other questions? If there is no other questions, man, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate all of you guys. We still got about 8,000 more likes to go to get to 100K. If you guys want to do that, if you keep tapping, I will keep talking. But in essence, I'm coming on here to help us redefine what these decoded messages really are in our spiritual walks. And what I'm just trying to simply convey to you is that there is a way for us to be able to consciously conceive who we are and where we are in God's eyes. And that's nothing more than going back to nature to do that. Okay. And again, I'm trying to be very, very good about keeping this as nature instead of saying God. But sometimes I'm just trying to get you aware is that how can you know everything about everything except for yourself? There are people that know everything about a God, but don't know nothing about themselves. So when they get in trouble, they can't fix it. And even when they go to the God, they say they know, there is no fixing of it. So my point to you is that how can you know everything exterior, but know nothing internal? How can you be a professional at everything external of you, but have no skill set at fixing or repairing or servicing anything internal to you? Don't be no good customer service to me at McDonald's. Be a good customer service to yourself in your own kitchen. You see? Practice these things on yourself. Best fast for detox. Just do the detox that we got. It comes with instructions, show you how to eat, all that type of stuff. Okay? But yeah, that's what it is, you guys, all right? Any other questions? Thank you, YouTubers, for all the love, man. We thank y'all for staying in tune, staying intact. If you guys need anything, please let us know. We'll get you the information that you need as well, man. I love you guys, man. It's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. It looks like we got one more question. Go ahead and let us know exactly what you got going on. And then we'll go ahead and let the congregation go on to their business. How to quiet my mind to sleep. Okay, so that's what I just told you guys, right? So doing deep breathing techniques, in the nose, out the mouth. 30 deep breaths in the nose and out of the mouth. When you exhale, add a hum to it. So simply, Start listening to yourself. You quiet your mind by listening to yourself. So instead of listening to the radio, put some things in your ears and listen to your heartbeat. Instead of looking at the TV, close your eyes and listen to your breathing. And you'll see that when you it's closing shit, when you close ears and you close eyes and you close this and you close your mouth, then you start hearing yourself. And that starts to quiet your mind. Okay? Well, but you can't tell them to stop overthinking and all of that. You won't be able to do it that way. You just got to tell them the technique to do. Once you focus on the technique, you stop focusing on the other stuff. You see what I'm saying? But to tell a person to stop overthinking is like, how the hell do you so you got to give them a technique. Look, when you take the pacifier out the baby's mouth, you must replace it with something else instantaneously to stop the crying. You see what I'm saying? So when we're explaining and teaching, it's not that we're wrong. Again, good information, wrong application. So a person's still going to be stuck with, how do I stop overthinking? So you don't even tell them to stop overthinking because they don't know how to do it. So then you add an activity that stops overthinking. So the activity we added can stop overthinking, but no person can stop overthinking if they're an overthinker because they don't know how to control the mind yet. So when you don't know how to control the mind yet, then you got to give the mind commands to do until you get control. Okay? And so this breathing with this humming, now your body has to focus on breathing and humming, and it's not focusing on nothing else. And voila, you're focusing on yourself. I love you guys, man. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate all of y'all. Woo-say! Yes, sir! Yes, sir.